Hello everyone, Adrienne here, and thank you so much for coming to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a first impression on the Juvia's Place collab with Vanessa. And in this collection, Vanessa has an eyeshadow palette and 2 lip glosses. And here's the packaging for this collab. Absolutely stunning packaging with Juvia's Place. Never disappoints with packaging. And this picture of Vanessa here, I don't know if I can get it to come into focus without a glare. That hairstyle, just everything about this packaging is stunning. It is a 6-pan palette. This is what the inside of the eyeshadow palette looks like. So it's got a gold, a pink, brown, a neutral brown shade, a orange here, and a fuchsia shade. Obviously you can see that. I don't know why I just told you in case you didn't notice that that's what those shades were. And the 2 lip glosses are right here. They are a mauve neutral and a regular neutral shade. But without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you how I created the look that I'm wearing today. And then I'll be back with some final thoughts on this collection. Getting started with this look, I'm so sorry you can see my mirror down here in front of me, but if I don't have this here, even though it's in frame, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing. I am going to go in with this shade here first in the crease, and I'm just using an e.l.f. blending brush to pick up a slight amount of that. These orange colors like this one here, I'm really not a fan of. I like them a little bit more than brownish orange shades. I know they're like the it shade, and for a woman of color, everybody wants one of those crease shades in their palette, but for some reason, I don't like it. I know it's necessary sometimes, but I feel like with hooded eyes, it just takes over the entire eyeshadow look for me, so I try to avoid that or put it last unless I want to feature a warm look, which isn't really what I want right now with this palette. And I'm just going to add gradually a little bit more on this side, and it is kind of tugging a little bit with the blending because I used the MAC eye primer, and then I went in with my paint pot, MAC paint pot, and Layin low. And I do not set it typically with the powder because I like to get the full pigmentation of an eyeshadow. So if something does kind of drag and I haven't set it, I contribute it to that. But it does look like it's blending out pretty well and not patchy. I'm just going to pat a little bit more of it on, just trying not to overdo it in the beginning because we all know that Juvia's Place, if you've never use them, I'll tell you that their eyeshadow palettes are always very pigmented, and I think on both eyes I want to come in the inner corner a little bit with this shade. I may be able to get away without making a warm crease, so hopefully that is my goal. And I do love their 6-pan palettes. The monochromatic palettes that they released were really nice also, and I do have several videos on that, and I will post a link up above of my favorite monochromatic palette. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out, but I always am able to get really fast looks with these palettes when they're done this way without sitting and thinking. Sometimes when I have a 12 or 16-pan palette, I get a little overwhelmed when I just want to pop on a look really fast and get out the door. So I do appreciate an all-in-one type palette where you can get a cohesive look. So I'm going to stop right there with that blending brush. And I think I will go in with this shade here, and this brush may be just a little too concentrated probably. Ooh, I'm scared to use that one. That one's pretty dense. So I'm just going to take my color switch here and clean off that same blending brush that I just used. And I'm going to go in with this shade here to soften the edges of that fuchsia looking shade and to set some of that primer that I have on my eyelid so it's not so bright. That seems to be doing a pretty good job. Not lightening it too much. I would rather build stuff up than to get more product than what I need. So I will stop right there. Next, I'm going to go in with these two shades here. I want to use both of them in this look, even though one's pink and more gold. So I am going to grab a Sonia G, what is this? Builder 3 brush. And I think I'm going to start with this shade first, this marbled or pink flecked shade. Reminds me of the Huda Beauty shades that were in her new Nudes palette. Looking at it, it's kind of nice that other brands are doing that also. When these shades look like that, I find them to be a lot more reflective and metallic looking. And this is a dry brush, this Sonia G brush that I'm using. I don't think I want to wet it. I just want to see what it does. I'm going to build that shade up on this eye also, so you can see. And I do like doing both eyes at the same time in an eye look in real time, so that you can see, if you choose to get a palette, how long it's going to take you to get ready. If I speed things up, and I'm going to go up a little bit higher to try to get in that hooded part, because the eyeshadow is going to end up there anyway, and I'm going to have to go back in and deepen that crease. And I'm just going to flip the Sonia G brush over and go into this shade here and pop that toward the outer V. Might take it all the way out. For this to look so gold in the pan, it really doesn't look to me that gold on the eye. So it's a gorgeous shade. Let me get a little more of that. And it's building up quite nice. Let me add a little to this eye over here. I feel like this is coming together pretty quick after I got that crease shade down. Like I said, it was just, the matte color was just sticking to my eyeshadow base. And I think I've got this build up pretty well. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and then I am going to go in with this dense Real Technique brush and go back for this shade here and just build it up and intensify it, because I kind of lost it. Whew. I will be buffing that out. This brush is no joke. If you have it in your collection, you know, if you really want to pack a punch with your color, get this Real Technique brush. And let's see if I can see what it's called. There should be a number on here somewhere. Oh, there is, but I'm not going to be able to see it, so I'll put it up on the screen. But this is one that, if you've got hooded eyes, it is excellent for packing that shadow right in the hood so that you can get the depth and dimension in your eyeshadow looks. This is going on nice. Let's see if we can blend out. I'm going to go back in with this brush, and I think I'm going to take this shade again because I don't need to deepen that fuchsia shade up. And it's definitely going to be super, super pink look without using that orange, but I don't feel like I want to have a sunset look. So at all costs right now, I'm trying to avoid that shade. A little bit more of this. Blending it out, but I don't want to make everything pink up to the brow bone. Hope I've got you guys zoomed in close enough. Okay, I am going to take this Sonia G brush here, and this is a Builder Pro, Sonia G Builder Pro, and I'm going to go in with this shade and start building it up on the outer V. I just want to see how intense it is And it doesn't look as deep and rich as what I thought. I do like it mixed in with that gold shade, but I feel like I'm going to end up bringing that burgundy down. But I really like this next to the gold shade. If you can see how it's kind of diffusing and meshing with that gold shade. It's pretty, but it's not going to be deep enough for a crease shade for me. Not crease shade, but I mean outer V. So before I get too much further, I am going to stop and I'm going to go back with that Real Technique brush and try to keep it on the outer V, just slightly on the outer V. This is where I might end up having to pull in that warm shade because this might start looking pretty odd with the brown and the fuchsia. So far, not too bad. I'm not sure what I think. I think also for the sake of just using all the colors in the palette, I am going to take a little bit of this shade and I think I'll put it actually underneath the fuchsia shade instead of on top. And I'm going to take this brush here, this little small angled brush, so I can be more precise with it. Turn it backwards and just kind of go in. I hope this isn't going to make a muddy mess. Not so sure. But we done it now, so whatever we get, we get. I don't know. It's definitely different. Doesn't look like any other look that I've ever created. That I can say for it. I definitely, from looking at it right now, feel like this is an eye look where I'm going to have to pull in some lashes and liner and get the rest of my face finished off, because looking at things right now, I'm not so sure I'm a fan. And I'm going to take that e.l.f. blending brush and go back in and soften as much of these edges up as I can around here. And mess up my eyebrows in the process, apparently. Okay, I am going to stop right now because I feel like I'm making things worse and not better. I am not sure how I feel about this, so I will get the liner and lashes on and I'll be back. So I'm back from finishing the rest of my face. I did go in with the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation in the shade Punta Cana. And for the first time, I picked up their concealer. Well, this is the second concealer that I had. I had it in the wrong shade. This is in the shade number 13, so it was my first time trying that, and I have to say, so far, I like it. And I used their blush palette. What is this? The Saharan Volume 2. And I just went in with the shade B, and for a highlighter, I used this shade, and I can't read what it is right now. Oh, it's Zoba. I went in with Zoba for a little highlight, and I put on my liner and lashes. So now for the lip products in the collection, and this packaging is so adorable. I'm going to go in with the one that is called Naomi, and it's after Vanessa's daughter, because this is my favorite color, and I think I'll probably like this one the most, and it's what I tend to gravitate towards. I have not picked up any of Juvia's Place lip liners yet, so I'm going to be going in with the NYX Mahogany lip liner to just give some shape to my lips. Keep wanting to talk, but it's a little hard to align your lips and talk at the same time. So this is the shade Naomi. This does have a slight fruity smell. I'm not sure what it smells like. I normally really don't like fruity smells, but this smells not bad at all, and it's pretty mild. This is a really cute pink shade. I would have to play with a little more lip liner with it. I'm going to try to go in with this mahogany and blend the edges of it a little more. But I think that's really cute. So this is the shade Naomi. I'm going to take this off and put on the other one. The next shade that we're going to be trying is the Legit Nude. This is a nude shade, so I'm hoping that this will work for me, and I'm going to use Colourpop's BFF4 for a lip liner. Ooh, that lip line is going everywhere. Kind of wish I would have sharpened this pencil before I started recording this video. That was a little bit sharp. If my lips weren't exfoliated before, they are now. So going in with Legit Nude. Oh my gosh, I love this already. Ooh, I really like this combination. I'm sure Juvia's Place has a chocolate lip pencil that would be awesome paired with this, and I'm just going to blend this in a little bit more. As I was saying, I'm sure Juvia's Place does have a lip pencil that probably pairs better with both of these lip glosses than what I have on, but I can definitely say this will probably be a favorite that I wear a lot just for a neutral moisturized lip, because this is a, like she said, it is Legit Nude. It is perfect. So for my final thoughts on this collection, now that I've tried everything, I think I kind of said what my thoughts are on this collection as I was applying the eyeshadows. The formulation, true to Juvia's Place formulation, just wonderful to work with, no issues with it. When I was working with this fuchsia shade, like I said, the reason why it wasn't blending as smoothly is because the eyeshadow primer was still kind of tacky, but it did blend out with no streaking or patchiness, so that turned out to be really gorgeous. When I first saw this palette release, the collaboration, I have to be honest that I was on the phone talking to my girl, London Makeup Artistry, Lynette. If you haven't checked out her channel, go check her out. But I told her I wasn't going to pick it up, so she'll be surprised that I went ahead and got this collection. The only reason why I did end up purchasing it is because I went to Vanessa's channel and I watched her video where she was promoting her collab with Juvia's Place, and I fell in love with her personality and instantly subscribed to her, and I wanted to support her collab. So I went ahead and picked this palette up. And I'm not saying that I dislike this palette because I love the quality of it, but the color story really isn't one that I'm that excited in anymore. Like I said, with the orange warm creases, I don't really care that much for those, even though I do find that they are necessary in a palette, especially for richer, deeper skin tones. It's important to have that warm crease shade so you don't have an ashy eye look. And this brown here I thought was going to carry a little more depth for an outer V, so I'm really shocked that it didn't end up being as rich as I thought it would. The thing I do like the most about this palette, though, is the look that I'm wearing today. I feel like I would even go to my son's school and speak with the teacher with this makeup on, or go to the grocery store with it. So for an everyday look, I really do like this palette. But the thing is if I wanted to really glam it up and step up my look, I feel like I would need to pull in some other palettes to make the look as rich as I would like it to look depth-wise, and that's just not typically my makeup style, to think to pull in other palettes. I like to pick up a palette and have it one and done. But with the other 6-pan Juvia's Place palettes that have been released, I do see where this palette fits in really well with those. And I do like this shade a lot, which I knew I would, because like I said, I have it in some Huda Beauty palettes, and you know, the gold is just a gorgeous gold. It almost reminds me of, seems like it would be kind of duochrome, but I really can't tell. It just looks goldish pink color, but when I look at it in the pan, it looks like a pure gold. Really, Juvia's Place is kind of releasing so much stuff so fast. I wish they would kind of slow down so some of the releases keep the same fresh excitement that I always have for the brand, and especially with collabing with all these creators. I like for them to be able to get their shine, and that's really, if it wouldn't have been a collab, I wouldn't have that palette at all. I can't say if I'll ever reach for it again. It would really take a lot of thought. It wouldn't be something that I would just think, oh, let me grab that palette and create a look. But as far as the lip glosses, I do love these lip glosses. I got to work on a lip liner with this one, and maybe pink. Maybe I'll want to use a brown with this because it is more of a really pink mauve shade, which I don't mind at all because I love mauvey neutrals. So maybe I didn't need to use such a pink base, plum base lip liner when I tried that out. I probably could have used a dark brown. So I will be using those, but the collection overall, I can't remember how much I paid for it. I will put the price up on the screen of it. If you haven't checked Vanessa out, her channel out, and looked at some of her content, really go over and check her out. She is so pretty and has one of the prettiest complexions and smiles. I really am happy that I supported this collab. Even if I do end up passing this palette on to somebody else, which who am I kidding? I don't pass on my Juvia's Place palettes because I have to say this is one brand that I do collect their palettes. I do like this packaging so much that I will be decorating with this. Like Juvia's Place palettes, even if it's a palette that I don't really understand how to use it, or it doesn't really vibe with, the color story doesn't really vibe with me, I end up decorating with their palettes. And I like that about it. I find their palettes to be like artwork. So I can see this one being displayed as artwork. If this color story is something that you like and it does speak to you, I think you would be happy with this collection. And I hope you did enjoy this video and decide if this collection is something you may want to pick up. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. You'll also want to hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button so YouTube notifies you every time I upload a new video. I'll see you guys soon.